Hey guys, so today I wanted to talk to you about the issue of whether you should or shouldn't be told what you should be eating. When I first set up my Instagram account, I had quite a few people contacting me and asking if I could give them some food plan or diet plan. And this wasn't what I wanted to get across at all, okay? Because you really, in my opinion, you really shouldn't be told what you should and shouldn't be eating. Instead, it should be about educating you about food. Because the impact that being told what you should and shouldn't be eating on your mindset is absolutely massive. And that's really what I'm interested in. It's about the mind body. And although being told what you should and shouldn't be eating and maybe sticking to a diet plan will be able to get you some really quick visible results, my issue is what about in the long run? What about the sustainability? Because once you come off that diet, how do you feel? What is your relationship with food? And how do you maintain it? A lot of people, being put on a diet and being told what you can or cannot eat, they don't realize that later on the impact that has on their mindset, and a lot of emotions can be brought up by that, because a lot of people they get scared of whether or not they're going to fall off the bandwagon of the healthiness, and that has a massive impact on you. And so I generally believe that you have to look beyond that. You can't be told what you can or cannot eat, because each and every single one of us are different, and there's no point in developing these fears around certain foods, because in the long run that can have a real bad negative effect on your mindset. I want to talk about a personal experience, because I'm quite open about my experiences, and I suffered from orthorexia nervosa in that I got really anxious about foods, and because I was striving so much to be healthy. And so everything I'd read, for example, I gave up gluten because I thought that was bad for me. And so that meant that I would never ever touch bread again because that had gluten in it. And the impact that this had on my lifestyle was just ridiculous. It was just thoughts going around my head all the time. And I feel guilty. I would feel guilty whether I did have something with gluten, or the fact that I was ruining a day out because I was getting anxious about whether or not I would have to be forced to eat gluten. And life is too short to have these anxieties. But this is the impact that diets and all the relationship that you develop with food can have on you. And so this is what I'm really concerned about as a health and wellness specialist. And I want to really force you guys to understand the impact that, just to consider the mind body, because even though people want these quick fixes, they want to look better, they want their bodies to be the shape that they want, you need to remember that a lot of things that you do, it has to come down to sustainability and how you're going to be able to manage that within your lifestyle. And being told what you can or cannot eat in the long run might actually be quite detrimental to you. I remember when, I didn't eat bread for so long, and that's because I associated bread with bad food, as being a bad food that I couldn't eat, that was just, it was a no-go. But then I realized, I decided I had to educate myself on nutrition and taking a real holistic approach in terms of incorporating mind body. And I realized that, I don't have to not have bread forever. Bread was something that as a youngster I used to love, and it was always going to come back into my lifestyle regardless. Now it's not about me not being able to eat bread. It's about me knowing what healthier alternatives there are to bread, and understanding food for what it is, rather than that I can or I can't have this. And that's what I want to educate people on. Sticking to a diet is about willpower, and there's only so much willpower that you have. And when that happens, you don't want to be battling with your head for so long in terms of how you're going to keep it going, or when you're going to fall off this health train. So I really want you to look beyond these quick fixes. You shouldn't be told what you should and shouldn't be eating. Rather, invest the time in your health in understanding what healthy means to you. And that's not just about nutrition and fitness. Mindset plays a key role in everything. Every difficulty that I've faced and every strength that I've got, it's all been down to my mindset. And so I really want to urge you to think about this. You know, there's no one size fits all. And so somebody telling you not to eat this or not to eat that, it doesn't work. And you have to find a balance because life's too short.